Every day, Edward takes passengers to the big station. This often meant that he would get to see the big engines who lived there. Express coming through! Or, as was often the case, long to get away from them. Hurry up, Edward, snorted Gordon impatiently. My express is a priority, as you well know. Every train on the timetable is important, Gordon. Give it the rest, Gordon. You've hogged the express for weeks now. I should have a turn. Tch. Timing is everything, Edward. Our yard has to keep moving. Little engines like you... Like me, you say? I'm no bigger than James there. Hey, that's not on. There's no need to be so hasty. When is your train leaving? Well, not for... Well, you see, the principle of the matter, Edward, is... I wish you wouldn't be so impatient sometimes, Gordon. It's good to slow down every now and then. Take your time. You won't be late. Goodbye. Every train on a timetable is important, but some stations didn't always have a timetable. When they didn't have one, it was up to those who looked after the station to know when trains came in and out. Excuse me, can you tell me, is there a train at 8 tomorrow from here? Oh, 8:1. Hope that helps. Right, thank you. As the man left, the station master suddenly realised who it was he had spoken to. Good lord, was that the Mayor of Crosby? Edward arrived bright and early with his train. Haha, good morning, Edward. Don't make yourself scarce just yet, the station master told him and his crew. You've got a guest on your train today, the Mayor of Crosby. Edward was delighted. If I'd known, I'd have spent longer polishing your brass, chuckled the fireman. Minutes had passed. There was no mayor. The passengers were growing restless. Have you seen the mayor? No, I didn't know we had one. Have you all seen the mayor? I've heard him on the wireless, but alas, I've never seen him. Have you seen the mayor? No. Has the mayor seen me? Duck arrived with a goods train. Edward, shouldn't you have been off by now? I know, Edward replied wearily. We're waiting for a VIP. A what, like? A VIP. Very important person. In our case, the Mayor of Crosby. Alright, like. Didn't know he was a VIP. At last, Edward and his crew were forced to concede. I'm quite convinced there's been a mistake. Our guest would have been here by now. Reluctantly, Edward's crew agreed that it would be best to carry on their way. And be careful with those coaches, Thomas. Will you quit whinging? Edward had to wait at a signal for the road. Why the long face? Asked Gordon. The station master told me I would have the Mayor of Crosby on my train today. But either we forgot him, or he forgot us. We waited for ages, and he didn't appear. What nonsense, snorted Gordon. I'm sure the station master was just pulling your wheel. It was as clear as day, Edward retorted. Passengers can't be kept waiting, especially on a train like mine. Well, if I had a VIP on our train, I wouldn't stick around if they were late either. Time and train waits for no engine. Yes, exactly, Edward smiled. Both engines laughed. I suppose you're not always old and useless, chuckled Gordon. Oh, that's awfully flattering, Edward smirked. You're not always full of rubbish either, Gordon. Edward arrived at the big station. where he found the Fat Controller on the platform with another distinguished-looking gentleman next to him. "Hello, Edward," greeted the Fat Controller. "Hello, sir. Who are you, might I ask?" "The Mayor of Crosby," said the Mayor of Crosby. "Oh, hello," replied Edward, sheepishly. "Is something the matter?" asked the Fat Controller. "Well, sir, it's just that—" And Edward explained. "My train was at Crosby by 8:01, by my reckoning." "I asked about a train. I was told, and I remember very vividly, there ain't one." "Ain't one? Ain't one? 8-1. "Oh, I don't believe it!" exclaimed Edward. The Fat Controller laughed. "Oh, I'm sorry, Edward. I'll tell the station masters on my railway to make sure that there are timetables for each station, so that this sort of thing doesn't happen again." Eventually, even Edward had to see the funny side. But alas, the Mayor of Crosby was a very busy man, and had another meeting to go to. This one was at the workstation. "Look out for me this afternoon, little Edward." Oh, what on earth just... Uh-oh.
Oi! Who did that?
Oh, the indignity. Oh, good gracious. But who's going to pull the train now? "This is the life! Thank you, Edward!" But while James was delighted, Gordon was having none of it. "Oh, no, I won't go! I won't go! You cannot do this to me!" Whether you like it or not, Gordon, you're already here. "The back of the shed! Me! At the back of the shed!" "Oh, well, if you keep whinging, soon everyone will hear about it, now won't they?" "It's undignified! It's degrading! I shouldn't be here in broad daylight. Oh, why did my whistle have to shoot off like the Jack-in-the-Box? Such poor timing!" I believe it was a wise engine who once said that timing is everything. That doesn't sound like anyone you know, does it?
Rat shit, fat shit, dirty old twat. 69 assholes tied in a knot. Hooray! Lizard shit, fight!
Fuck you, haters! This video is not for kids! Go find another toilet to shit on!